Alright guys, welcome back to another video, and update 5.5 has been out for a hot minute now. It's been a couple days, and I think I've given it enough time to marinate for me to drop my review on it. So in this video, we're going to be reviewing update 5.5, going over the highs, the lows, everything in between, and just giving my opinion on the update itself. A lot of people were already experiencing lukewarm reactions to the update even before it came out. I'm sure you guys all remembered the trailer incident where a lot of people were angry over just the trailer alone not being long enough or having enough things showcased within it. But how did the update itself actually stack up to people's expectations? Well, let's get started with the units. So in this update, we got 5 new units: Delta, Katakuri, and Sid. And although I wasn't a huge Eminence of Shadow fan, I took some time to read a couple of chapters of the anime, or of the manga, before the update dropped because the maintenance was pretty long. And all I can say, it is definitely an anime. It's something, alright. And the main character's cool, I guess. Just, you know. But that's neither here nor there, right? Eminence of Shadow was the main focus of this update, with Katakuri just being a World Lines unit. He was like just his little own standalone thing. How do the two Eminence of Shadow characters stack up? Well, Delta, she's not horrible. She's You know, she has the same gimmick as Uryu, where she has infinite range and can attack from anywhere on the map no matter where you place her, which is cool. But I've heard people say that she was just a worse version of Uryu. I don't know, I haven't tested that myself. I do know that Uryu is pretty decent though. Like, I really like using him for like mindless game modes like World Lines, where I can just plop him down, go wherever. He'll probably clear the stage if I place all 4 of him. But Delta seems fine. A lot of people say that she's the worst unit this update, and I honestly wouldn't blame them. Next up, we have Sid. Sid is pretty annoying to get. I'm going to be honest with you guys. There is no pity to get this guy. He was a 1% on release, and I believe he's a 3% now. Don't quote me on that because I could be completely wrong, or he might just be a 3% on the harder difficulty. The reason that I say he's kind of annoying to get is because, number one, you can't macro the stage. The raid that he's a part of is literally unmacroable. There's no tiny task that you can construct in order to be able to macro this raid because of the unique raid mechanic. We'll get into that later, but you're gonna have to sit there and manually grind every single run, and there's no pity. So it's kind of like, damn, you are really at the hands of RNG here. Obviously, there are some things that you can do to circumvent the grind, make it a little bit easier on yourself. You can get the Fortune Catalyst that you can buy from the raid shop, and that'll make your life a little bit easier. But the fact of the matter is, I have some friends who are well over 50 runs of manually grinding out that raid, and they still don't have Sid. And will I try getting Sid myself? You know me. You know me. Well, we'll see how that goes. But Sid itself is a pretty cool unit, definitely a lot better than Delta, and people were trashing on him when he first came out on release, saying that he sucked because his damage wasn't as good as X character or Y character and his DPS sucks. I think he's one of those units that's more passive focused, although his damage is nothing to scoff at. It's not like he's tickling the enemies. His passives are where he really shines, and I still think he does good damage as long as you get the swaps in. But I remember in a Q&A, one of the questions was asked about Sid, and the question was, will Sid be a Vanguard unit? In which the devs responded, we will not do Sid dirty. And did they do Sid dirty? I mean, I've seen showcases of him, I've seen gameplay of him. He looks really, really cool. Is he extremely good? If I had to put him on a tier list, he's A tier minimum. Is he S tier? I mean, he's a new unit. He's a secret unit, main focus of this update. I don't know, y'all know that I'm not the greatest with tier lists though. I kind of need to lock back in on those. But what I'm trying to say is that Sid is a pretty good character. A lot of people say he sucks. I don't think he sucks. Definitely not a bad character at all. And his passives are really, really good. He has a nuke, I'm pretty sure. He looks super cool. Getting him is a pain in the ass, but it is what it is. They did say the whole point of 5.5 was to keep players busy, so they had to give us something to grind for. Am I excited about grinding a RNG drop to my heart's content? Maybe not, but, you know, it's busy. It keeps you busy for sure. And I think the star of this update was Katakuri. He is by far my favorite unit in this update, and I don't even have him yet. In fact, if you notice, this is one of the only times where the background footage I'm using is an actual tower defense game, because I'm grinding World Lines to get Katakuri. Like, I will get Katakuri no matter what. He is extremely cool. I've already seen showcases of him. He has a really cool, unique passive. He has follow-up attacks. He follows the enemy around. He's meta support. His second, like, follow-up attack does like 15 hits, which makes him a really, really good shield breaker. He looks super cool. He has a skin bundle where he turns into a girl. Like, Katakuri really just stole the show for me this update, and he's not even the main focus of it. I absolutely love that character. One Piece, one of the best anime of all time. Katakuri, really great antagonist from One Piece. And I am happy to say they did not disappoint with his addition into Anime Vanguards. He is extremely good, and I suspect him being meta support for a very long time. He's just a very good all-around character, and I have no complaints there. But I think we've talked about the units enough. Let's move on. We also did get a new raid, and that's the same raid in which you get Sid and the Bird Familiar. Bro, the Bird Familiar is fucking broken. If you get a good roll on that Familiar, it is unironically 10 times better than any other Familiar in the game, and it's not even funny. That is so crazy. But the raid itself was pretty cool. The mechanic where you had to interact with each pillar as Sid was telling you the number so he wouldn't nuke you was a nice mechanic. It took people a sec to figure it out. It took me a second to figure it out. But after you realize what it is, it's pretty easy to deal with it. I really enjoy the fact that this raid had a very cool, unique mechanic that we haven't seen before. And if I remember correctly, Valk was talking about like introducing raid mechanics that are more and more complex, that you need more and more people for, and like you need to be communicating. Honestly, I'm all for that. And I know a lot of people were unhappy with the fact that you couldn't just macro this update, but I really can't stress enough how happy I am that they're taking the game further away from being a macro simulator. It just makes the game more engaging in my opinion, even though I love macroing things, you know. Tiny task, my beloved. But not being able to macro everything and actually having to earn things and interact with the game and play it is good. In my opinion, that's great. You can't really complain about that. Raid was chill. Drop rates for the raid were not so chill, especially for Sid, but let's move on. We got a couple of game mode reworks, including Odyssey and tournaments, as well as a new world line season. No complaints from me here. All of these changes are positive ones, whether it makes the game mode fundamentally better or it makes the rewards better. It's just overall improvements across the board, so no complaints from me there. We also got familiar rerolls, quick craft, trait history, craft synthesis, I think it's called, and just a lot of quality of life changes across the board. Feel free to pause it if you want to, although I don't even know if you can read the letters on that screenshot on the far right. It's super duper small, but you get the point, right? This update was mostly quality of life additions, and it was less content heavy. So now that we've gone over everything in this update, what do I personally think about it? I think it was a fine update. If I had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it a solid 7. Definitely not their best update ever. That's just because it doesn't have that much content. I don't think you could ever rate a 0.5 update higher than a full number update. Then, like, I don't think update 5.5 will ever be as good as update 1, update 2, update 3, update 4, update 5, because it's 5.5. So it's just like, by that nature, it's going to be smaller, and there's just less to judge it off of. Now, does that mean that it's a bad update? Absolutely not. Some of the quality of life changes were really cool. I appreciated them a lot. Sid, cool unit. Katakuri, I need to get Katakuri so badly. And yeah, like I said, I think it was a fine update. Do I think it was one of their best updates ever? No. I'd say, in my opinion, their best ever update was update 1 Jujutsu Kaisen when they first introduced tournaments. It might just be nostalgia talking, nostalgia for a game that hasn't even been out for a year, but I just really enjoyed that update. The feeling of hype, the first ever full number update, it was just, that was something else, dude. That was definitely something else. But that is my review for update 5.5. I think I'm going to end it off with that. I know a lot of you guys were disappointed that there wasn't as much content in this update as there have been in other updates, and that's a completely valid feeling. I will try to make you keep in mind that this update was just supposed to be filler for PvP. A lot is riding on PvP. That is something I didn't touch on. Update 6.0 has PvP as one of the focal points of that update, being an entirely new mode, which you've already seen me play on the channel. I've played the very early work in progress stages of it, and even that seems super duper fun. Like, I am hyped to play PvP, and I've just played a very rudimentary version of it. I think PvP has a lot of potential, and it could be really fun, especially the traitless version. Trait version, I don't know if I'm going to touch trait PvP. I'm going to be going up against a dude with 6 monarchs. He's going to have monarch on his farm. I don't think I want to do that, but traitless PvP, I'm extremely excited for that, especially if there's like ranked and unranked and there's good rewards. Oh my god. I really think the possibilities for that could be through the roof, and I am very, very excited for PvP. If PvP sucks, oh, things will not be looking good for anime Vanguards, because I've been reading my comments, and a lot of you guys don't even like PvP to begin with. Like, you guys are already unhappy that PvP is taking away development time from adding new content, because I've read the comments, right? People are like, bro, are you serious? This is what they're spending time on? Like, this is what we're not getting new units for so you can work on this bum-ass game mode? Like, are you serious? So, really, the only way to prove those people wrong is through actions. Actions speak louder than words. You can hype up PvP all you want, but if it's not good on release, that will be a pretty big stain on the old repertoire for anime Vanguard. So I hope it's good. I'm not going to pray on the game's downfall, but I'm definitely going to say Update 6 has a lot riding on it because PvP has been teased for a while. I'm pretty sure they talked about it even before Update 5.5. They had it in an update log for Update 5, I believe, and they also talked about it on stage multiple times. So it's one of those things that people have been waiting for a very sizable amount of time, and if we're going to be waiting all this time and getting less content because people are working on PvP just for PvP not to be good, that is a scenario that I do not want to think about. You know, we're going to have to drop another community outrage video, more content farm. You get the point, right? A lot is riding on Update 6. And Update 5.5 has people a little restless, but it gave them something to work towards, something to grind for. New content is new content. It's not a bad update. Lots of great quality of life changes. Some cool units, Katakuri being the best, obviously. And I think that's it from me. With all that being said, have a great day or night wherever you are. Let me know in the comments what you think about Update 5.5. I would love to hear what you have to say. And with that, have a great day or night wherever you are. Stay tuned for more content. And we'll catch you in the next one.